years in WWE is no longer with the company. Lars Sullivan has been released by WWE. The full story up now at WrestleZone.com. And it is certainly one that maybe some fans thought was just coming for a while. And why did it take this long? That's what I've heard from many hardcore fans. More casual fans were like, yeah, I heard some not so great things about him. Lars Sullivan's career in the WWE is over. The news comes from PWI Insider. They claim the 6'3" SmackDown star was quietly released in the month of January. No reason has been given why. No specifics on the firing or if even Lars wanted this to happen himself. Sullivan's career in WWE was quite controversial and filled with several different injuries and unexplained absences. He was fined $100,000 by the company, undergoing sensitivity training for making racist and homophobic remarks on social media prior to signing with the WWE. Now, WWE has been called out saying, why didn't they know about that? But these just kind of surfaced later on, and they put the hammer down on him. It also came to light that he had performed in an adult film, and that this came to light at some period of time. Now, 15 years ago, many people think WWE instantly done with you. They would let someone go. Maybe the culture has changed, but it's certainly counteractive to the company's PG direction. Yet he was somehow able to find another way back on television while all these different things. He was a significant part of WWE NXT, even challenged for the NXT Championship quite a few times, was called up to the main roster, started wrecking people left and right, and did suffer an injury in a match with Lucha House Party. Last time he performed on television was October 23rd, 2020, where he was defeated by Shorty G. He had returned to SmackDown that month, having attacked several superstars and squashing Jeff Hardy just the week prior. And he did make a public statement some time ago about there is no excuse for the inappropriate remarks I made years ago. They do not reflect my personal beliefs nor who I am today. I apologize to anyone I offended. Now, obviously, there's going to be a lot of takes. I've heard a lot of people with different feelings about this. I think a lot of more wrestling fans are, I would say, inclined to think that, oh, he deserved this or that. I'm not getting, I'll touch on that debate, but I don't think the adult film thing is nearly as bad as the prior comments he said, which were absolutely unacceptable. You can find them. They're not hard to find. And in the hammer that was put down from $100,000 is a heavy fine for a star in his range of what he was doing for the company. And there were huge plans. There's huge plans for him. There was, I mentioned the knee injury. There was also a period where he had like a mental health episode and was pulled out of the picture of WWE. And there were a lot of big plans. Talk of him and John Cena at WrestleMania. Him and Brock Lesnar. Huge plans for Lars Sullivan. So let's see what fans are thinking about this story as it comes together. A lot of people sounding off. If you guys are enjoying the video on Facebook or YouTube, go ahead and like the video if you enjoy it. If you want more news videos and more updates from us, that helps us pop into your feed. Lasted longer than I thought, says Joshua. And Craig saying he should have been released a long, long time ago, in my opinion. Yeah, Tawab Ahmed saying, I think Heidenreich 2.0 going after Michael Cole wasn't on the cards. Oh, well. And minority opinion here, I think. Mecca and Davis saying he was my favorite before everything came out about him. Screw him. So you turned on him pretty quickly. You didn't like what he said. And Yuri Texian saying, not surprised. Not the F at all. Bye, Sullivan. Deuces. All right. Let's see here. More of your comments anyway. Byron saying he sucked anyway. He's certainly a specimen. I mean, he was certainly a physical specimen. And this guy had a look when you saw him. And I saw him wrestle Aleister Black at an NXT show. He was a guy who had that general appeal of a larger-than-life wrestler and came up from the bodybuilding world and had a look that was head-turning. Whoa, look at that guy. But I do think the statements he made were not acceptable. It's just not acceptable. And the way he said these things was very profound and prolific. And these are written words too. So, I mean, that was somebody actively going out of their way to say that, that was an activated conversation to express those things that I don't think many of you accept, and I don't accept either. And Rick Hutton, of course, this happens. Anyone comes out of WWE, are they going to appear anyone else? Rick saying pretty sure he's not going to get picked up by anyone. Obviously, this is just news that became public. We don't know how long ago he was released. We don't know if there is a non-compete clause on his deal. We don't know that. All we know is, based on what PWI Insider is reporting here and what we have up at WrestleZone, is that he is done with the company. Now, he's been active on social media, posting deadlifts, weightlifting. He's a weightlifting guy. And so he's been active on social media. Hasn't mentioned this yet, but it is coming from verified sources here. So he is done with the WWE. More of your statements here. People asking, what statement did he make? You're asking for the story years ago, or what did he say that was controversial, Marvin? Well, he said some very homophobic, racist, and inappropriate things across the board in many different regards towards people of ethnic groups, people of the LGBT community. He made some comments about Stephanie McMahon that I don't think you would like. So it's kind of really unacceptable things, Hubert saying AEW will take anyone. I'm doubtful of that. I'm doubtful that you will see him there. I'd be more inclined to see him overseas in an international wrestling promotion outside of the United States. Thomas Chewy Hewitt saying, for him to make fun of mental health and then he had a panic attack before the episode of Raw. Karma. I've heard a lot of people say that this is a karma situation here as well. More comments here. A lot of people jumping on this. So just try to be nice here, guys. Don't try to be too mean here. I know a lot of people obviously jumping on, you deserve it, this and that. And this is karma. I don't know. Just want to toe the lines of a decent, reasonable, dare I say, civilized conversation. If you're just joining us, we did do an episode of WrestleZone Wrap-Up earlier today with Ali Darsky talking about the road to WrestleMania, the big celebrity involvement involving Bad Bunny, and what is Edge going to do with that title shot? He won it at the Royal Rumble. Where is he going? What about Bianca Belair? She's fresh off the Royal Rumble. So what is the direction of WWE going into the most important WrestleMania maybe ever? That's right. And how could that WrestleMania actually look? When will fans get tickets? We go into all that in the most recent episode. It just dropped this afternoon. It's available on YouTube, Facebook, and in your podcast ears. If you haven't subscribed to our podcast, go ahead and do that. We have a bunch of extra content on there. Literally, we're putting up 7 to 8 hours of audio on that feed every single week. Fresh interviews with Ted DiBiase, IRS, on there as well. The Acclaimed from AEW, Matt Cardona, you may know him as Zack Ryder, and we're dropping an interview this week with Chris Jericho, plus all of our review shows and recaps. We have a great Royal Rumble post up as well. Definitely go check those out, especially if you're watching our video for the first time. Obviously, a hot topic story about the drama and spilling the tea and all that stuff. People are going to come to the table, but tell me about the things you are excited about in the world of wrestling. This is a negative story. Tell me about the positive things you're looking forward to in the world of wrestling. I want to flip the script there a little bit. More comments here about the release of Lars Sullivan from WWE. Want to respond to these. Michael Quinn saying, obviously, this is a guy with some mental health issues. He needs some therapy. I do have some compassion in that regard for people. He did have some mental health issues, and I do think that is something that a lot more of us are compassionate about in modern culture. I can agree with that as well. Let's see more comments here. People saying he's going to be on Impact Wrestling tonight. No, Craig Backlund. I don't think you're going to see him on Impact Wrestling tonight here. Certainly, give us more of your comments here if you guys are joining us live here. This is kind of a developing story. We just found out about this within the hour. So this literally happened. I think we just signed off around maybe 45 minutes ago, maybe an hour ago on the WrestleZone wrap-up, and we got the story right after it. So I just wanted to talk about that with you guys a little bit as well. If you're joining us on demand, go ahead and get in those comments down below. Let us know what you think of the story. I'll be there responding to your comments on YouTube, on Facebook as well. You can follow me on the Twitter machine at KevKellum. And of course, if you haven't done it already, follow WrestleZone at WrestleZone.com. Your newsfeed, if you're on Twitter all the time, we're there in the mix with you as well. Thank you guys so much for supporting everything we do at WrestleZone.com. And remember,